Hello there, welcome to StrunkyTube. My name is Roy, and this is going to be a roundup video of the Summit Qualifier. That's going to be from May 19th till the 22nd. It's called the Freak Show, and basically I'll be rounding up the events one by one, telling you my experience and all that kind of good stuff. So, as always, you first start with the Free Drive Challenge, which is basically your own route. You can place checkpoints all around the map, and the more kilometers or miles you travel in that event, the more cash you will earn, and the score you will have on that will determine your place on the Free Drive Challenge. There's not much about it. I will post a video soon of my own Free Drive Challenge that I am mostly using when doing it to get a lot of cash. Next up, as always, the Free Drive Stunts. You basically need to do some stunts, always the same. I might also make a video one time about where the best places are to make stunts, in my opinion, as far as I know. So the first real challenge we get is the slalom category, which I find mostly easy to do with the bike. You can do it with the car, just make sure it's pretty speedy. It's pretty basic. I've done this one a lot when grinding for parts, because it normally gives you a level 45 part, which I do for part grinding. Yeah, there's nothing really special about this, just mainly a straight road. You can do it with any fast car, but I think it's a bit easier to do with bikes, even though I think bikes are pretty hard to drive, but mainly I'll go with bikes any day when doing slaloms. Next up is the Scramble skill. Now, you'll want to start this one the other way around, especially if you're doing it with a monster truck like I am doing over here. The reason is, if you start it on the normal spawn side, you will have to drive underneath a few obstacles that will block your monster truck, and the forest area you will get in is also a bit thicker, so you'll have a bigger chance of driving against some trees that might screw up your scramble. So I always just go the other way around. It's a bit more open, you have less trees, and it's also possible with the monster truck. I've tried it a few times, had some bad RNG, just like with the slalom skill, but after retrying it enough times, I got a result that I was pretty happy with. Now the next one is a jump skill. It's basically also a jump skill where you can get a level 45 part, but I never do those because you need to land on gold for that, so I always ignore it, but I used to do this jump a lot. What I basically do is get my dragster, my roof, and yeah, just spawn your car a few blocks behind and just make sure you get a nice big jump. Make sure right before entering the starting marker to just activate your nitro and try to get as far as possible. My jump was mainly a bit to the right, but if you try to get it in the middle, maybe it'll be a bit better. But I was pretty happy with my score. Now the next thing we will have is the brand time attack, which will require a specific car, which is the BMW X6 ME71. It's a car with dirt and performance specs, and you need the performance one for this specific brand time attack. So that's what I've done. I've gotten the car because I didn't have it before. SUVs aren't really my kind of thing, but the more I drove with this thing, the more I started to like it. And the time trial itself is in the rain in Los Angeles, and you will drive around in the rain on some industrial area at the start and going near the beaches of LA in the rain. First time I kind of screwed up by going off-road over here near the end, so then I retried. As you can see on the left side of the screen, my car isn't fully upgraded yet, which I am going to do, but by the time I wanted to have this video out, I didn't really have any time to max out my vehicle yet, but I put down the score. I'm gonna redo it to get a higher score, obviously, when I have this vehicle maxed out. Overall, it's a pretty easy time trial, and I think, especially because the car, I mean, it's in the rain, but this car handles very well in the rain. I don't feel it sliding in any way, so that's very positive, and yeah, I like how it drives, especially in the rain. It's not disappointing at all. Now up next we have a simple drag race. There's no restrictions over here, so I just use my roof CTR3 again, which I believe is statistically the best dragster in the game. I have it maxed out, so yeah, it's just about exact timing. One thing about the specific drag race is that at the beginning there will be a slight bump upwards, so that will take away your speed a bit and will lift you up in the air, which will cancel your acceleration. So you'll probably want to make sure to use your nitro after jumping in the air, so when you land on the ground again, you will right away use your nitro to get that extra speed boost. That's what seemed to be the best for me, so that's my advice on this drag run. Now after this we get the drift trial, which is on an icy road in the mountains. I use my BMW Z4, which is a lovely drift car. I enjoy it a lot, it's just so light and it's a pretty easy car to keep your drifts chained together. I've retried this drift trial a lot of times because the walls on the sides kinda annoy me, which screwed up my drift lots of times, but after just trying it enough times, eventually I managed to almost a full run. At the end I kinda broke my chain, but that was so close near the end that I kinda just wanted to finish up, and well, I finished with a pretty good score. I'll just show the final drift that I drove, and yeah, I kinda broke my chain one time. We'll try it again after spending more time doing some other summit events to get everything in a single chain. But mostly when I got the hang of it, the later part was pretty decent. Kinda upset me that I broke my chain near the end, so that's what kinda sucks. But yeah, it's pretty nice if you get the hang of it. Next up is the speed trap. Now you need to be with a performance utility car, so I use the same BMW over here since I didn't really have any utility performance vehicles. And well, I did have this one, so hey, I'll just use it. As before with the brand time trial, my car isn't maxed out yet, so I'm getting a pretty poor result over here. But that doesn't really matter since I'll be retrying it when I'll have it finished. But I gotta say, this speed trap is one of the easiest ever. The route I chose to do was spot on. I think it's the ideal route and I don't think there's any way to improve it, since at the end of every checkpoint you'll get along straight towards another checkpoint, so it's very easy. Just follow this route and you'll be fine. So make sure you have a nice high level car and you'll do better than I am showing you over here, since this is still a low level car. But this is just a route that in my opinion is ideal. You could maybe at the start go back to make a long straight back, since at the end I have 1.5 minutes left, so that's the time I could have kind of gone backwards to get a longer straight going and maybe get the first checkpoint at a faster speed. All in all, it's a very easy speed trap. Now next up is the Monster Arena. It's basically one of few arenas you'll always get to play in. It has to be a utility truck, and well, the only one I have is my maxed out Ford Raptor, which happens to be a utility, so that's pretty good. But since it's such a big truck, it's kind of hard to make good stunts with it since it's so heavy. I prefer to use my Abarth 500. And overall, my skill isn't too good when it comes to Monster Arena. I'm not really good at pulling off stunts over here. At the start I kinda did better, but I don't know, for some reason I just got worse at it. I have no idea, but just try to get on those loopings, get some high point balloons or point thingies, whatever you can call them, and try to get those perfect landings right, and I think you'll be fine getting some high scores. And I think most of the points are gathered on the high area places, which you need to climb on and can fall off. At least that's what I am thinking. Of course my result isn't very good. I'm gonna retry it later on to see how good I can get it, but at the moment it was not very good for me. Now all we have left is the crew time attack and PvP. PvP I haven't played it yet, and I don't really feel like going over every PvP race there is, because that would take too much time. But it's just basically PvP all in the same vehicle, so every person will be driving in the same car or bike, all maxed out levels, so it's very fair. You just need to look out for people that are trying to ram you off the road. You can also try voting for no collision, which is what I always do, so then it comes out to the most skillful player to win without any collision. But all in all, you don't need to win in PvP to get points for the PvP challenge for the summit. You just need to gather money, and even if you end in last place you'll get some money. So it doesn't matter if you win or lose, just get that money and rank up in the PvP summit challenge. Now the crew time attack is something you need to do in a crew, and sadly since most of my friends that are playing the crew actively haven't been online yet, so I didn't really have time to encounter any of my friends playing crew to do the time attack with. So yeah, I have no idea about it, but yeah, all I know is that it's a performance utility class. You can use the BMW again. I have no idea about the route. You can check it out if you have enough friends, which I apparently do not have play the crew with. That's been a roundup of the current summit qualifier of May 19th till 22nd. Still 2 more to go until we get the final summit. I wish you good luck in the summit, and you probably have less than 24 hours left to do so in this current qualifier when this video comes out. So be sure to use your time to get a best result as possible, and yeah, I wish you good luck with that, and I hope to see you in the rankings. I thank you a lot for watching, and hopefully I'll bring another video out like this. My name has been Roy, still is. This was StrunkyTube, and I thank you for watching. Goodbye.